Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Geraldine. If you are tuning in for the very first time, you are welcome. I hope you can see me. Yeah, you're welcome. I really appreciate your presence. My old subscribers and viewers, I do owe you guys an explanation. Yeah, I will do that at the end of this video, okay? So we don't bore our new visitors out. Yeah. Today we're going to be making moi-moi. This recipe I learned from a friend, a sweet friend, and she is so skilled at making this moi-moi that when I visit, whenever I get to visit her and she made this, oh wow, I almost never feel like going back home. That's how good she is at making it. Yeah, so I'll be sharing with you what she taught me, what I learned, and I hope you'll be willing to give it a try and tell me what you think about it. Yes, let's get in guys and make moi moi. We're starting with 2.5 cups of black-eyed beans, and we'll be putting some water in it and allow it to sit until the skin gets loose. These are the rest of our ingredients, guys. On the screen now you will see the list of everything. Yeah, but oil and eggs didn't attend this meeting. Yeah. After about 10 minutes in the water, this is what the beans is like. Yeah, it's ready to be peeled, and I'll be using my blender for this process. Yeah, so I'll just put it in this blender and pour water, enough water, like water is like twice the amount of beans. Yeah. So I'll be using the pause button on the blender for this process. Yeah, I'll be pausing for like let's say 10-15 times until I'm sure the skin is all peeled off. After that comes the washing process. Yeah, we're gonna be washing, like sieving off the coat, the beans coat, until everything comes out clean. Yeah, so we'll be just repeat the process of sieving until the only thing left in the bowl is our beans. Here is the chaff left. The next thing I did was to put some clean water in the beans. Yeah, we're going to be letting it sit until the beans get very soft. Guys, we're using a home blender for this process, and we want to make it very easy for the blender, okay? After about 2-3 hours or thereabouts, the beans was soft enough, so I'm going to start the blending process. We're going to be blending in 2 parts, yeah, so that we're sure it blends properly. So I'm starting with a little bit of water, enough to get the blender moving, and in that I'm going to be adding my vegetables like the onions and peppers and the spices, okay? So guys, next I'm gonna be adding my seasoning cubes. Yeah, I'll be using 2 for now. Yeah, so I'll be adding the cut up vegetables, my pepper, onions and ginger, into this blender right now. Yeah, and then I'll give it a little bit of a blend. I'll be adding my crayfish at this point. Remember, I wouldn't be using all that. And then I'll be adding the 2 seasoning cubes I showed you. I'm using 1 star Maggi and 1 Knorr Maggi. Yeah, Knorr cube, sorry. So I'll just blend that up and we'll be back. So I did use 1 pepper first, so I'll just check what the color is like to know if I'll use the second one. And I added crayfish to this, guys. What crayfish does is kind of bring down the color a little bit, and yeah, so I'll be adding more peppers to make the color pop. if you can do without crayfish in your moi-moi, you can just skip it, but I love to have crayfish in mine. Yeah, reason I'm adding it, and for that same reason too, I need to use enough bell peppers to make the color pop. So you guys, you'll be seeing the difference in the second batter I'll be bringing out. Okay, in the second one there wouldn't be crayfish, and you'll see how the color is so bright. Here it is, guys. So I'll just pour it in here and gently combine everything together, giving it one color, kind of a homogeneous mixture, like so. And the container, the reason I chose this was because it's transparent for you to see clearly. Yeah, but I had to change to a bigger one so we don't make unnecessary mess. So guys, in the moi-moi making process, this is where the major work starts. Yeah, like kind of the rest of the mixing process, where you spice and add salt and all that. So we're going to, the reason it's kind of tricky is that you need to make sure you have the right amount of salt and everything. Yeah, so it's just mix and taste, like I always say, you know, my cooking. Yeah, you mix and you taste, you cook and you taste until when you're satisfied with the salt and spicing, then you to your own taste, then you can go ahead with your cooking. At this point, I'll be adding the remaining cube from my Knorr cube, sorry. Yeah, but I made sure to crush it very well so I don't get lumps in the moi-moi. Yeah. So guys, I will mix that in thoroughly. Let me quickly show you that up till this point, I haven't used more than a glass of water. Yeah. So apart from the water I used in the beginning to get the blender moving, yeah, I wouldn't be using more than 1.5 glass of water at the end of my mixing process. Yeah, so it's kind of tricky, but we're looking for something not too thick and not too loose either. Yeah. So now it's time to spice with my curry powder. I think it's like half a teaspoon. Yeah, and some salt. So with salt you have to be careful, guys. You taste as you cook. So now I'll be adding I'll be putting in some mixed spices. So I'll just mix that in very well. It's kind of not so practical with a container like this. Yeah, but I had to do that so that we don't mess up our workspace. Yeah. But if you have a bigger round container, that's the best for this process. Otherwise, just go ahead and mix your moi-moi very well. I'll be tasting for salt now. So now it's time to add the vegetable oil. I'll be using about 3 of this cooking spoon. And guys, this oil is kind of adding fluid to the mixing process, so you don't want to like add too much water before you add your oil, otherwise you get something too watery. Yeah, so just mix in thoroughly, and then I'm adding a little bit more salt and just mix. Another thing I do before I add my egg is test for salt and be sure that salt is enough in this thing, guys, because I wouldn't want to be tasting raw egg if you understand what I mean. Normally, it is not compulsory to use egg in your moi. Like myself, I hardly use eggs in my moi, but for this particular recipe, this particular bake and folded recipe, the egg is very important to get it bound together so it can fold, like it can fold properly. Without the eggs, the folding wouldn't come out nice. So at this point where my salt and spicing is okay, I just beat my eggs and add it to the mix. So I'll just mix everything in together, and you can see what I have here. Yeah, so I'll just add a little bit more water, just about the amount you can see on my screen. Yeah, but like I told you, I didn't use more than a glass of water and a half for this process. Next, I will line a tray, like a baking tray, with a parchment paper. Guys, if you use foil, your moi would not come out, I promise you. Yeah, but find the deepest one of your oven trays, yeah, and just line it. You also want to choose a tray that is as flat as possible. Yeah, mine had an issue because my tray was kind of bent. Yeah, but that was the only option I had, guys. So now just what I'm doing here is pouring in the moi mixture. Yeah, I'll just pour it in and spread it out, flatten it as much as possible to have even edges. Okay, so next I'll be covering the top of my baking pan, the baking tray, with a foil paper. And you want to make sure that your foil is as flat as possible, like stretch it out on top of your tray so that it's not touching the surface of your moi. At this point, I just put it in the oven using the fan function at 180 degrees, yeah, for 15 minutes. After which I would be bringing it out to check how it's doing. Yeah guys, 15 minutes later, and here is our moi. I noticed that the part facing inside the oven is kind of cooked faster than the other part, so I'm going to flip it over so that it can get done evenly. Yeah, I'll be giving it another 6 to 8 minutes, guys. Yeah, by the way, here is some chicken I had grilled and spiced earlier. Yeah, after about 8 minutes, guys, I brought it out and it's time to spread our grilled salmon on top. Yeah, if you're using fresh salmon, you want to mix it in. That time we are mixing the moi. Yeah, but my salmon was already grilled, so I had put it back in the oven for another 5-6 minutes, and look at the edges, they are beginning to like retract, so it means that the thing is ready. Yeah, so now it's time to do the magic. So we're gonna be starting from one end of the moi and just fold it like this. So we fold and take off the parchment paper like this, yeah, until we get to the end, like when you're folding a bada. This part of my moi was thinner than the rest, so it kind of broke when I was folding it. Yeah, so you have to make sure that your pan is kind of straight in the oven so you get even moi. Yeah, but so that's pretty it, guys. You just fold until we get to the end of it. Sorry, my boy is talking in the background. We're on the last fold, guys. Yeah, this is what it's looking like. So I'm just going to be covering it like this and allow it sit in the oven, because I'm not going to be eating it immediately. But otherwise, when you are ready to eat it, just a slice like this. Yeah, so you just a slice and put on the side of your rice, be it white rice, jollof rice, fried rice, even spaghetti, and even soaked gari, guys. Yeah. So guys, we're done, and back to why I changed my channel name. Oh, it's nothing more than that I've been really itching to give you better content, and just improve the quality of my videos and my content, to just create something that you would love. It's out of love for you guys. This kind of love. Oh, yeah guys, so I did some consultation. I consulted some elders in the business. Yeah, at the right time I'm going to be giving accolade to whom accolade is due. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, but what basically happened is that I discovered that the name is not pushing my dream as far as I would want it to go in terms of growth and everything here on YouTube. If you are a YouTuber, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, so the name, I discovered even myself, is not easily searchable in terms of, for example, someone asks your channel name on the streets and you go kitchen treats, the person processes it as a treats with T, right? Yeah, so and my channel name has the 3 in place of the T, and that kind of sounded fancy in the words of the person that gave me the review. Yeah, so it didn't feel like marketable, let me just use that word, for the purpose of my channel. Okay, yeah, so I had to change it into something that will suit what my channel is all about, that at first glance anybody will know that my channel is all about recipes, and then other things I would be sprinkling in once in a while. Yeah, so guys, that's what it's all about. Nothing extraordinary, but I just felt like I owe you this explanation. Okay, I did find out a whole lot of other things that I need to work on my channel, and I will be doing that. I don't need to talk so much about that here. Yeah, but I just will be implementing what I've learned, and do kindly give me feedback on what you think about my content, about my videos henceforth. Okay, I will really appreciate that. It will encourage me to do more. Yeah guys, so that's about it. Nothing nothing serious. Okay, yeah, okay guys, thanks for hanging on. I love you. Have a beautiful day.